You're such an asshole.
Tired Cappy here, banging it out. It is a Saturday afternoon, and I might just take a nap. Anonymous writes, hello, Mr. Clary, returning customer here and seeking advice, career advice to figure out if I need to find a new job. My job of 1 year, he mentions it, but I won't mention it here because I want to keep you anonymous, was going great until the last few months. My boss that I actually like gave his notice, her notice. You said their notice. I see what you're doing. Try to keep it anonymous. Their notice, they're quitting. They basically got forced out by management due to multiple lost fingers as of late. The new plant manager tried to give me their job duties without a pay raise or a title change and for significantly less than what your boss made. Until they find someone for the job if I didn't perform to their liking. I said no, smart man. So they're having a nearby plant manager take over permanently who does not like me. Work with them for over a week. Also, the job site is starting to force all staff to work excessive amount of days for excessive amount of hours, which is causing quite a lot of people to quit. Again, I don't want to give numbers. This is basically a sinking ship. So instead of doing nothing, I've been saving my money. I have $20,000 in savings, $60,000 in investments. How old are you? Doesn't say. 6 months of precious metal and no debt at a relatively young age. Applying for new jobs, interviewing, continuing my certification and education. Luckily, my current boss gave me the department check and said, you have a certain amount to spend on training. Take the day and apply for all your classes and certifications at work. I spent $10,000 that day. Am I overreacting or doing everything I need to prepare in case the S hits the F? With everything going on, I see this as a golden chance to leave my state, which is a leftist crap hole. I spent the year fixing up my mom's house to prepare for resale, so she may retire in the South with my sister. I read your book, Reconnaissance Man, decided to keep looking into Alaska, Montana, Idaho, and the Dakotas. Can you tell me about Montana? Or I'll tell you about Montana and we'll continue on. It's cold. There's nothing wrong with Montana. Like if you like snowmobiling and snowshoeing and skiing, it's a great state. Yeah, it's wonderful. They do have an income tax, but it's minimal. It's as red state, Republican, conservative, libertarian as you can get. Stay out of Billings. That's a crap hole. And ever so generally speaking, Montana really is just a continuation of the Dakotas, which is boring plain states and tundra. It's not until you get into the western third of Montana do you actually get some mountains and something like that. So Bozeman, Butte, Missoula, those would be the places you go. If you're in the far north, closer to Glacier National Park, there's East Glacier, West Glacier, Whitefish Falls, and then Kalispell. But once you get to the mountains, wherever you want to live, it's a beautiful state. It just gets cold and there's a lot of snow. It's not as cold as Minnesota or North Dakota, but there's a lot of snow. So you better like winter or have a place in Vegas because Montana is very cold. It's big. So travel-wise, geez, I don't think they have an international airport. I think maybe the largest one would be in Billings, and then you got to drive all the way to the east side of the state. But maybe Missoula, some regional airports, but you're going to be flying to like, where would you fly? You'd probably fly to Boise and then out. You take a puddle jumper to Boise and then fly out. So I don't know how much you want to travel, but if you're okay not visiting people, okay, fine. But if you need to visit your mom once every 3 months or 2 months, well, you're going to have to live in a metro area close enough to a regional airport to get you to. Otherwise, it's a big state. What is it, the third largest state in the United States between Alaska and Texas? I guess maybe California. Maybe it's fourth largest. But there's nowhere near the infrastructure. But great fishing, beautiful, beautiful. And a lot of nothingness. You can get lost out there. Which parts would you advise for a single guy who just wants to live in the middle of nowhere and just enjoy nature, hike, and fossil? Oh, fossil. Oh, well, then maybe you would be interested in the middle and eastern parts of Montana. Because they do have a fair amount of fossils over on the east side, yeah. And you could totally be left alone. But generally with Montana, if you want to avoid population, any place is a pretty good place. But the further away you are from the interstate, the better. And there's hundreds of little towns in the middle of nowhere that you could do it. But when it comes to fossil hunting, which I haven't done a lot in Montana, generally you're going to want to be in the eastern half. So I don't know, is it the mountains and snow more important to you, or is it the fossils? So yeah, and I'm not that experienced in fossil hunting in Montana, so I wouldn't know exactly what tranches and formations you might want to be aiming for. But yeah, that definitely is the eastern side. Montana has a lot of jobs in my field, while sadly Dakota does not. In my old age, I'm just getting tired of people and their drama. Am I missing any states that might work out? Thank you for everything. Welcome back. Hope you're enjoying your dream house in South Dakota. It's a house. If you want, I could send you a variety of products as a household. No, that's fine. That's fine. Attach a picture of it. Boo. So I enjoy trade work, so I've been thinking about just taking 6 months off to get welding and plumbing. If not, I can just continue my new hobby as a gunsmith. Thoughts? Both. I would do both. So let's go back to this main question. Here's the deal. You were right to turn down that, quote, promotion without pay. And it does sound with that many people quitting that you should get out of there. And if people are losing fingers, you should get out of there. And here's the deal, dude. You're a younger man, and maybe you haven't got your life planned out, and maybe you don't have a unenviable position or skill or trade, but you can leave at any time you want. And you go to Montana. And what I would do, I would Missoula, Bozeman, or Butte. Maybe not Butte. That's a little but one of those western towns that are sizable in Montana. If things get too bad at work, I just here's my 2 weeks notice, I'm out of here, and you leave. And then you go out to Montana, get yourself a job. And I asked you, could you land a job in Montana? Helena and Bozeman. Those great towns, absolutely. So, how do I put this priority-wise? You could leave if you wanted to tomorrow. Put your 2 weeks notice in, boop, I'm out of here. You got enough money, go out. Now, the only way you could improve your situation by staying in the state that you're in and continue making the money is, one, you continue making the money, save up your money so you got a little bit of money before you go out to Montana. Two, yeah, if you got 6 months, if you could get trained in plumbing, go do it. Absolutely. There's a tradesman shortage across the nation. So if your current living situation is streamlined enough, whether you're living with your parents or you got a nice cheap place to rent, you got a job, and there's the plumbing union nearby, and they're going to give you training, or the facility, yeah, go over there, get your certification, learn to be a plumber. Then you go out west with a skill and a trade. So maybe you got to wait for 6 months, which will put you squarely in the middle of winter, and really like Montana. But you've played your cards right, and you saved enough money that you don't have to do that. And there's such a labor shortage all over the nation that if you just want to go work as a bartender or a waiter, you could find some small little town in Montana, wherever it may be. And there's a lot of them. It's a big state. But in that general area, yeah, you could live in Helena. You could live in Bozeman. Find a job. Go online, search for jobs, whatever job you need. But before you're so quick to move out there, although it is beautiful during this time of the season, it's absolutely gorgeous out there. Maybe keep working a little bit take your money, get training in plumbing, and then go out west. But yeah, man, your boomer boss who just said, well, the other guy we had to fire. Now we want you to do his job, but we're not paying you his money. Yeah, F that. And people are getting fingers cut off, and a certain amount of people are quitting every week and every day or every month. Out. That is a sinking ship. And for once, and this is, some of you guys played your cards right, and you're one of them. You don't need your boss. You don't need this boomer piece of filth. They are giving you an unacceptable position with unacceptable pay. And I'm not a big living wage guy, but I kind of got to go Josh Flukian here, where it's like, if you're not going to pay me a living wage, then why would I work for you? Wait, I got to live. Now, I mean, you're a teenager, you live at home or some kind of part-time thing. Okay, I get that. But like I've always, the minimum wage debate to me has always been a joke. It's like, well, just don't work for that low a pay, because why would you? You can't live off of it. So you just tell them no. And I'm not a big fan of Biden either, but maybe it took a bunch of stimmy checks to get people to unite and say, like, we're not taking anything unless it's a living wage. I'm like, well, yeah, because you kind of have to. I get it. Unless you're introductory or, again, part-time or a high school worker. But you have saved up enough money, and there is a labor shortage. So if there was a time to wing it with a guy that's got like 20 grand cash, $60,000 savings, boobity, and you want to go west, young man, go west. Now's the time to go, because, and I wouldn't just like grab your knapsack and head on out. Like, you know, the people with the stick in the knapsack and behind. At least go and research the area, try and find yourself a job on the internet. See if there's, so if you go out there, you know, grab a car, go out, get a job interview, and hopefully get a job. See what jobs between Helena and Bozeman or Butte or Missoula, you know, don't be picky. But yeah, if you can find a job, you move out there as a job interview. Yeah, you start tomorrow. Good. Boom. Say I had a joker, by the way, better bachelor. Because he's moving to Bozeman. I think he's moving to Bozeman. I don't know. Yeah, and where they're starting to make you work overtime and that much. No, out, done. No. Your boomer boss has mismanaged it like all boomer bosses do. And, oh, hey, by the way, if you're a boomer boss, you disagree with me, please go ahead and challenge me. I'd love to have you on the show. I would love to have you on the show. Just return all the government money that bailed out your previous company to me, the taxpayer. So, all right, glad we answered that. All right, any super chats? Holy crap, $20 euro. Irish Alpha 82. Well, thank you, new guy. 20 generous euros. Yeah, and unlike you stingy Americans, Fred. My boss has a half a brain cell and zero. My boss has a half a brain cell and zero integrity, but is backed up by a psychopath manager because he conforms. I have to deliver all the results. The CEO loves me, but you have to respect rank and delicate ecosystem. I am cornered. No, you're not. No, Alpha. You're Alpha. Go apply for another job. Any other job. Just go work for another security, waiting staff. You're Irish. Just everyone's a bartender there, right? And they make funny, witty jokes. Oh, yes. Oh, welcome, O'Malley. Oh, your penis is small as ever. Yeah, I mean, isn't that what the government welfare jobs program is? The sassy talking Irish bartender? I mean, you're not cornered. Leave. Go get another job. Shoot, come to the United States. All of our millennials and Gen Zers are sitting on their asses because the stimmy checks, they ain't got to take no money. Like, ooh, bartend? I have a degree in sociology. Well, look at that. The Irish are donating it. This guy is donating more money than all you Americans. All right. There you go. All right. Questions answered. See you guys later. Toodles.